In compliance with Chapter 231 of the Open Public Meeting Act of the State of New Jersey, adequate notice has been given to all members of the governing body, the local source, and the Westfield Leader, the two newspapers designated to receive this notice. It's also posted on the Borough Hall Bulletin Board as well as on our website. We're going to start with an invocation from Council President Turner. You're on mute, Keith, you're on mute.
Okay, I already did it though.
Very moving, Keith.
You're very welcome. And it was a really good one too. It's a shame we all missed it. Guide us tonight so that our decisions will benefit all Mountainside residents, keep all residents and their families safe during this holiday season. Amen.
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 Okay, let's salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands,
one
one
nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, next we have roll call, please.
Councilwoman Andres absent. Councilman Dierkes.
Here.
Councilman Messler's absent. Councilwoman Pacifico.
Here.
Councilwoman Pater.
Here.
Councilman Turner.
Here.
Okay, so first we're going to approve some minutes. We're going to start with the work and executive session meeting on November 10th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Poll the council, please.
Councilman Dierkes.
You're muted, Renee.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pacifico.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pater.
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Next, we have the regular and executive session meetings on November 17th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Poll the council, please.
Councilman Dierkes.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pacifico.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pater.
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Okay, next we have the work and executive session meeting minutes for December 1st, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Poll the council, please.
Councilman Dierkes.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pacifico.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pater.
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna go back and do some executive session meeting minutes. If you were not, Martha is only gonna roll call those that were in attendance at the meeting. So if you weren't in attendance, she's not gonna call you to vote to approve them. So let's start with the June 4th. These are all executive session meetings. First one is June 4th, 2019.
So moved.
So moved.
Motion and a second. Poll the council now.
Councilman Dierkes.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pater.
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
I don't have to vote, John, since there's only we have only 3 voted.
The majority of the quorum, yes, that's,
Okay, that's fine then. Okay, September 17th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion, we got a second. Poll the council.
Renee, I'm sorry, Councilman Dierkes.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pater.
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Okay, next we have the July 9th, 2020 and September 14th, 2020.
You skipped January, Paul.
I did? I thought I just did that one. Okay,
No.
January 14th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, poll the council.
Councilman Dierkes.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pacifico.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pater.
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Okay, now we're going to do July 9th, 2020 and September 14th, 2020. These are all executive session meetings.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, poll the council, please.
Councilman Dierkes.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pacifico.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pater.
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Okay, and then we have the last one is July 22nd, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, poll the council, please.
Councilman Dirkus,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pacifico,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pater,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Okay, next we have two proclamations. The first one is the U8 softball champions. Renee, why don't you read that for us, please?
Okay. Resolution of commendation. Whereas the Mountainside Youth Babe Ruth League sponsors a youth softball program to provide kids with the opportunity to improve their skills and performances in competition with other communities. And whereas the Mountainside U8 team were in the C Division Championship game during the fall season of 2020. And whereas the team defeated Scotch Plains with an 8-3 victory in their first game and defeated Elmora 5-1 in their second game, winning the C Division Championship. Now, therefore, be resolved by the mayor and council of the borough of Mountainside that the U8 softball team and its coaches are hereby commended for their achievements. And the head coach was Maria Rose. The team manager was Mary Murray. The assistant coaches were Constantine Rose, Steve Murray, Jared Love, and myself. On the team was Demetra Rose, Emily McSherry, Betsy Love, my daughter Fiorella Dirkus, Lena Petrozzulli, Abigail Murray, Anna Petrozzulli, and Mia Capronegro. And Paul, can I just say one thing?
Sure.
Okay, and my daughter started off, and I just want to use this as an example. My daughter started off this summer playing softball, not knowing how to play at all, never having batted before, never had touched a glove before. This is such a great program that we have here at Mountainside. I really encourage all parents to have their kids get involved in the Mountainside youth games. It's a lot of fun. They'll learn. You don't need to know how to play before you even join, like my daughter. And it's a lot of fun. You'll meet great parents. All the coaches were fantastic. Maria Rose and Mary Murray put in a lot of time to make it all happen. They deserve, commendation for making it happen. It was great that we won the championship, but more importantly, I think all the girls had a fantastic time and learned how to play some softball. So it was a good time and all. So it's something I think all parents should have their kids get involved with because it's such a great program that we run here at Mountainside. That's what I wanted to say.
Thank you, Renee. Okay, so we have a motion for the proclamation. We need a second.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Okay, so we so proclaim this resolution of commendation. We next have another resolution of commendation. You're going to try this, Rachel?
Sure. Whereas the Mountainside Recreation Department sponsors a youth soccer program to provide kids with the opportunity to improve their skills and performance in competition with other communities, and whereas the U11 travel team, the Mountainside Monsters, were in the Suburban Youth Soccer League during the fall season of 2020, and whereas the team had an undefeated season and a record of 8-0 in the White Division, top division, of the Suburban Youth Soccer League of New Jersey. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Mountainside that the U11 soccer team and its coaches are hereby commended for their achievements. The coaches were Dan Woodard, head coach, Jack Sokolnicki, head coach, and Ann Woodard, team manager. The players, Alex Sokolnicki, Kiros Balan, Rizal Balan, Paul Batil, Ryan Fang, Rocco Gicitripio, Riley Quisenbing, Lucas Soros, Nicholas Woodard, Sawyer Isberian, Aaron Kane, Harrison Lucas Kuttner, Kendrick Millay, Julian Piaxico, Gio Skilfafani, and Christopher Worgan. Congratulations.
Okay, so we have a motion for this proclamation. Very good job, Rachel. I appreciate your assistance there. And now we need a second.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
I would just like to chime in with what Renee said. I know that most of us that are on council have participated in the youth sports programs in Mountainside, be it soccer, Little League, softball, whatever it is. And, you know, these programs are run all by volunteers. You know, I've said it a million times, the volunteers are the backbone of the Mountainside community, and they make these type of recreational activities great for the kids. It's also great for the parents. So I'd like to chime in on what Renee said. If you can, get out there and volunteer. If you want to coach, you want to help with the fields, whatever you want to do, but get out there and volunteer. You'll feel good when you do it.
Or, hey, Paul, even
Yeah.
if they don't want to volunteer, they just want their kids involved. It's a great program for their kids.
They should volunteer too. Okay, next we have some resolutions. 135, 220. Donna?
Resolution 135, 2020. Whereas the owners of real estate in the Borough of Mountainside paid their real estate taxes and sewer taxes by way of a check in the incorrect amount. And now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council of the Borough of Mountainside that the proper borough officials be and they hereby are authorized to cancel all such amounts on tax and sewer accounts, whether owed to the borough or owed by the borough, of $5 and under for the year of 2020. So moved.
Okay, we got a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second.
Okay, poll the council.
Councilman Dierkes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pacifico,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pater,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Okay, so the next resolution is 136, 220. It's some budget transfers. Rachel, you want to take this, please?
Yes, Resolution 136, 2020 provides for the transfers within certain appropriations within the municipal budget during the last 2 months of the fiscal year. Our Chief Financial Officer has advised the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Mountainside that the need for certain transfers within the 2020 municipal budget exists. And this resolution authorizes the Chief Financial Officer to make these transfers. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the following budget transfers be ratified. So we have some monies moving from the tax assessor, salaries and wages in the amount of $10,000, and the planning board, other expenses in the amount of $6,000, moving over to the contribution retirement program, $2,000, construction, salary and wages, $2,000, the clerk, $2,000, and for dispatch, salary and wages, $2,000. So moved.
I think the dispatch is 10,000 though, Rachel.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it is 10,000.
Okay, so we have a motion and we have a second.
Second.
Okay, poll the council.
Councilman Dierkes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pacifico,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pater,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Okay, next we have resolution 137, 220. Donna, you want to take that, please?
Sure. Resolution 137, 2020. Whereas the Recreation Director, Frank Mazzella, requested the following refund. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the treasurer be authorized to issue the following refund for $155 for the spring soccer program. So moved.
Okay, we got a motion. We're going to need a second.
Second.
Okay, poll the council.
Councilman Dierkes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pacifico,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pater,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Okay, next we have resolution 138, 220. It's some tax overpayment refunds. Renee, you want to handle that, please?
Yeah, there's one interested party that overpaid their taxes, and that's on block 1601, lot 7, and that's in the amount of $2,533.47.
We got a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Okay, poll the council.
Councilman Dierkes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pacifico,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pater,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Okay, next we have resolution 139, 220. It's the awarding of a janitorial contract. Donna, you want to take that, please?
Sure. Resolution 139, 2020. It looks like we are getting a new janitorial service. It was sent out to bid. We chose a cleaning service of Hudson Valley, and it will be costing us $21,600. So moved.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and we got a second. Poll the council, please.
Councilman Dierkes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pacifico,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pater,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Okay, next we have 140, Resolution 140-220. It's an amendment to the capital budget. Renee, why don't you take that, okay?
140, 2020, 1 second.
It's the amendment to the capital budget.
Okay, the Borough of Mountainside deems it necessary and desirable to provide for a capital project not previously reflected in the 2020 budget. So therefore be resolved by the mayor and council that the 2020 capital budget shall be amended to reflect the additional of ordinance 1288 through -2020. And that's the purchase of a new pumper fire truck, a vehicle exhaust venting system, and turnout gear, washer and dryer, which was not previously provided for in the capital budget. So be resolved. So moved.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, poll the council, please, Martha.
Councilman Dierkes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pacifico,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pater,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Okay, next three resolution are the appointment of some new police officers. The first one is Resolution 141, 2020. Keith, why don't you do that?
Sure. Resolution 141, 2020 is a resolution to appoint a probationary police officer to fill a vacancy on our police department. The candidate's name is Atreyu Melville. The police committee had interviewed several very good candidates. We had a really good pool of candidates, as we normally do. And Atreyu Melville was one of the candidates that was selected to fill a retired position as a probationary police officer. That salary is going to be a starting salary effective December 15th of $45,265.22. So moved.
Okay, we got a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, poll the council, please.
Councilman Dierkes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pacifico,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pater,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Okay, next we have the next resolution, 142, 2020. Keith, why don't you continue with these?
142-2020, again, is another vacancy due to a retirement on our police department. This person was also one of the candidates that was interviewed with this Atreyu and several others, and his name is Matthew Sanagustin. We will appoint him as a probationary police officer, also as a starting salary of $45,265.22. So moved.
Okay, we got a motion. We got a second.
Second.
Poll the council, please.
Councilman Dierkes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pacifico,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pater,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Okay, Keith, one more. Resolution 143, 2020.
143-2020, another appointment of a probationary police officer to fill a pending retirement of a current police officer. Also did very well during the interview process, along with candidate Sanagustin and Melville. This candidate's name is Natalie Santillo, also with a starting salary of $45,265.22. So moved, and welcome aboard, and good luck and stay safe to the three candidates.
Okay, we got a motion. How about a second?
Second.
Okay, poll the council.
Councilman Dierkes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pacifico,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pater,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Joe, you want to unmute yourself for a second?
Go ahead.
I understand that we're arranging to do a formal swearing in for each of these candidates for their family and friends to be present. Have we got any dates for that yet, or how's that going?
It's whenever you would like to be. We can do it Friday, perhaps after the storm, or sometime next week. We can take pictures with the families. It's
All right, I'll
whatever
talk to
is
you. I'll talk to you tomorrow, Joe, and we'll come up with a date and a time. Okay.
Great.
Okay, so the next one we have is Resolution 144, 2020. Rachel, you want to take that, please?
Yes, Resolution 144, 2020 cancels a receivable balance for the Municipal Alliance Grant in the amount of $9,418.89. Now therefore be it resolved that the Chief Financial Officer cancel this balance from the records of the borough. So moved.
Okay, we got a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Call the council, please.
Councilman Dierkes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pacifico,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pater,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Okay, so the next one is to Resolution 145, 2020. This is the cancellation of some budget appropriations. I'm going to take this one if you don't mind. Whereas the following, the 2020 current fund appropriation balances remain unexpended, whereas it is necessary to formally cancel these balances. So there's three that we're going to be canceling. One is for the Mountainside beautification. That money wasn't used, but that'll go back. We'll put it back into the budget next year. Same thing with the Salt Dome. That money is going to lapse, and we're going to put it back into the budget next year so that we'll have the money to build the Salt Dome. And then there's some miscellaneous road projects that we didn't get to this year. So we'll pick up with them again next year. So I need a motion for that resolution, please.
So moved.
You have a second?
Second.
Second.
Okay, poll the council.
Councilman Dierkes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pacifico,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pater,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Okay, before we go on to ordinances, there's one item that we need to address prior to our reorganization. As you are all aware, or you should be, we adopt rules of council at the reorg meeting. There was a question about one of the rules. I believe it's Rule 10, which basically provides that if you abstain and you do it if you abstain, that's considered a yes vote unless the abstention is by reason of a conflict of interest. And I think that that's caused some confusion amongst the council. I think that I asked Rachel actually to take a look at the rules and see if there were any other changes that she would recommend. But really, this is the main thing that we need to address. I think the time has come for us to probably amend the rules to say that you can abstain, and if you do abstain, it's not going to be considered a yes or a no vote. So, I can certainly recommend that, but it's up to the council to approve that amendment to the rule. So if everyone is in favor of that, then we'll put it on for, we don't have to vote tonight. We just need to know that, I just want to make sure nobody is not in favor of it. And then we'll put it on in the reorg. Well, I guess we'll have to specifically say we're amending those rules, John.
Yes, Mayor.
Okay, so does anyone have first of all, does anyone have any questions about doing this or not doing it? And does anyone have an opinion one way or the other? Keith, you're muted. You're muted.
I have one question. And I think it may be for John. How does that affect if there are 7 or 6 council people present at a meeting and majority rules? If there's an abstention versus a disqualification, doesn't that count as a no vote at that point because it's the number of people attending the meeting?
No. The abstention, under Robert's rules, an abstention is not a yes or a no.
Unless it affects the majority. It depends on how, under Robert's rules, it depends on how we as a governing body define majority. Is it the number of people present at the meeting or not?
You're talking about two different things. One is a quorum.
Hmm.
Do you have enough members present to conduct a meeting? And then the second question is, what if you do have a quorum, what's a majority? And the abstention counts as a member being present for purposes of a quorum, even if the member does not vote.
So it doesn't count against the number of people present for the quorum? So if
It
there's
counts
six,
in favor of the number of people present for a quorum.
right?
So John, by way of example, we have 6 members of council. Okay, we have a vote, 1 person abstains. So in order for that resolution to pass, we need 3 votes. Is that correct?
Correct. That's correct.
As well as we would need 3 noes for it not to pass.
Correct.
Okay. Does that clear it up for you, Keith?
Yep, so it doesn't affect the majority.
No.
Not
Okay.
in Paul's example.
In any example, would it affect the majority?
I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
Well, I think that's an important topic to think about before the
All right,
governing
let's
body
go
votes on
to
it.
the next step. We have 4 members of council there and 1 person abstains. 2 votes would pass it, or 2 votes would not pass it. Is that correct?
Right, but if you have 4, 1 abstains, you have a quorum, you have 4, and that means that 2 votes would pass it.
Okay.
What if in that scenario, what if there are 6 people there and 3 people abstain?
Still need 3 yes votes, right, John?
So it
Correct.
does affect the majority.
No, it doesn't, because 3 is the majority at that point. Or is that a tie, John, if 3 people abstain and 3 people vote in one way or the other?
No, it's not a tie.
Yeah, right, it's the majority.
The majority, right.
So it doesn't, so when would the mayor's vote come into play? If there's 4
Three-
people,
Tie, 3-3, 2-2. Yeah, everyone would have to vote.
but how abstentions wouldn't affect that. They would just be, so an abstention would act as a disqualification for all intents and purposes.
No, an abstention, the abstaining member is present for purposes of a quorum,
Right.
but is not voting for purposes of whatever the vote happens to be on a given issue.
No, I understand that. So but
So
during
you could have a quorum if you had 5 people present, one of whom was going to abstain, and you had the remaining members voted 2-2, that would be a tie that the mayor would have to break, as Paul suggested before.
Okay, but there's no possibility other than 6 people being present, 5 people abstaining, 1 person voting yes. And the mayor,
I don't know the answer to that question.
okay.
I suspect that the answer, if you had 5 abstentions, if you had a quorum and 5 abstentions.
1 person would be the
suspect-
majority, right?
Exactly.
Is
Exactly.
that what, so it does, so going back to what I originally said, an abstention acts as a disqualification because they're not considered part of the majority.
The majority is the majority of the people that vote.
Correct,
That's the majority.
correct.
So if you abstain, you're not voting, so it has to be a majority of the people that vote.
Okay, perfect.
Abstentions were not considered a vote.
Got you. So it's just like a disqualification then, to non-vote.
Right.
It's not counted. No, it's not. That's not correct. Stop using the word disqualification, please. It makes people nervous.
Yeah.
I think, Keith, the point is A disqualification doesn't count for purposes of a quorum.
Right, just for a quorum, but for a vote, it acts the same.
Same, right.
And my only other concern is the reason for disqualification. Are we changing that? Or does that have to be something that is a legal reason or a reason that the remaining members of the governing body have to agree upon in order to allow the disqualification, rather than it be such, some potential fabricated, idea or thought or failure of a council person wanting to make a decision in public for whatever reason?
That's not being addressed in any way by this change.
Okay, so we would still need, the person abstaining would still need to have consent of council in order to have the abstention.
No, that's not true, right,
No.
John?
No, that's not the case.
You can abstain for any reason.
Right.
If we change it, you can abstain for any reason, and it's not considered a yes vote.
Okay, because, so we're changing that part as well, because currently the rules state that any abstention has to be by the consent of the remaining council.
That's a fair point, Keith. If you look at the rule, the rule really says a failure to vote, which is not the same thing as an abstention.
Well, it's withholding his vote.
Withholding his vote, right. But that's not the same thing as an abstention.
Okay, so anybody can, so by doing this, anybody can abstain for any reason that they see fit.
No, they could say, under the current rule, they could say, I'm withholding my vote. That means I'm not voting yay, nay, or abstaining. I'm simply withholding my vote.
Okay.
Under the current rule, that would require the consent for a council person to do that, would require the consent of the rest of council. We are not changing that provision.
Gotcha.
The only provision that we're changing is the provision that says that if you abstain and it's not by reason of a conflict of interest, then it's counted as a yes vote. And we're saying you can abstain, as Paul pointed out before, for any reason, and it won't be counted as a yes vote.
Okay, but so it doesn't matter whether it is actually a true conflict by definition, or one that may just feel conflicted by any member of the governing body.
The conflict has nothing to do with the allowing the abstention if we change this.
Okay.
Any other questions about it? Okay, so Martha, I guess we'll incorporate that into the reorg meeting.
That's always the first resolution of the
Okay,
reorg.
so, and John, you'll handle how we should present that we are changing it before we vote?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so then next we have the ordinances. We have a second reading on ordinance 1287-2020, which will require a public hearing. So Keith, you want to take that, please?
I believe that 1287-2020 is the amending the insertion of the emergency funds received through the Department of OEM for $220,902.60.
That's correct.
Yeah, and it's appropriated for COVID-19. And that amount to finance the appropriation shall be provided for in succeeding annual budgets beginning in 2022.
That's correct.
Okay, and by inclusion of at least 1/5 of the amount authorized pursuant to this act. So moved.
Okay, we have a motion for the ordinance. We need a second.
Second.
Okay, now we have to open it up for any public participation. So what are we on, a 7-second delay, Matt?
We right now are on a 19-second delay.
19, okay.
But while we wait, there is one comment from Noel Crawford, and she says, "Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Thank you all for your untiring dedication to our community. It is appreciated."
Thank you.
Thank you.
No other comments, Matt?
No, there are not.
Okay, so somebody has to close the public, please.
Don't we have to do bills and claims?
No, we have to close the public on this ordinance
Oh,
first.
okay, I'm sorry. So moved.
Okay, so we're closing the public. Poll the council, Martha.
Councilman Dierkes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pacifico,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pater,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Okay, so the next one is ordinance 1288, 2020. Renee, you're going to handle that, please? I can assist you, Renee. It's a bond.
This
You
is
got
for
it?
the fire truck, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a bond authorized to, we're buying a new fire truck, a new pumper fire truck, which includes original apparatus and equipment, and a few other items, and it's going to be appropriate in the sum of $963,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, and to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriations, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of bonds.
Okay, so we have a motion. We need a second on that.
So
Second.
moved.
Okay, so we have a second. Now we have, again, open it up for public comment. Any comments out there, Matt?
No, there are not.
Seeing no
Okay.
public comment, I move that section be closed.
Okay, poll the council, Martha.
Councilman Dierkes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pacifico,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pater,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Next, we have bills and claims. Renee.
Okay. Be it resolved by the mayor and council of the Borough of Mountainside that the following bills of the persons named and for the amount stated below have been duly audited and found to be the correct this 15th day of December 2020. The same be paid after council review, if and when funds are available, and that the mayor, council president, administrator, and treasurer are hereby authorized and directed to sign and deliver warrants for same, and that it's an amount of $353,766.98. So move.
Okay, we got a motion. We need a second.
Second.
Poll the council, please.
Councilman Dierkes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pacifico,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pater,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Okay, so next we have council comments.
I have some, Mayor.
Okay, go ahead, Rachel.
The Mountainside Restoration Committee would like to thank everyone who supported the sale of the gingerbread ornaments and also the mini greens arrangement kits. The Hetfield House has been decorated thanks to Scott, Jason, and John. Mountainsiders are invited to come by, take your holiday photo in front of the festively decorated gingerbread Hetfield House. I did drive by there the other day and it does look lovely. So do go by if you have a chance. In preparation for the snow buddies are back. We've had several seniors who've signed up, and thankful to Jeff Healy, Scoutmaster. He has assigned several of the scouts for some of the seniors and other in need who are going to need shoveling. If anyone out there requires shoveling, you can reach out to our senior coordinator, Kim Moriak, or myself. My son, my husband, and Glenn, we're snow buddies as well to one of our neighbors. So if you can get out there and help one of your neighbors, if they need it, it would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else?
Yes, I would just like to say the library is still on curbside hours. So the hours are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1:30 PM to 7 PM, and on Saturdays from 10:30 AM to 12:30 PM.
And their programs are still available on their website?
They are, and they still have some grab and go things that they can do also, yes.
Okay, anyone else have any comments? Okay, I have a few. They center around the COVID-19. We are coming up to the holidays. We need to be careful as to how we celebrate, especially now with the cold weather. You really should be limiting your indoor gatherings to your immediate family or close contacts. You know, we're getting to the end of this, hopefully. They've approved the FDA approved the Pfizer vaccine, and it's out there. People are getting vaccinated. I understand that they're also moving forward to try to approve I think it's the Moderna vaccine, which also should help, you know, get things hopefully back to normal. But please don't let your guard down. It's very important that we, you know, maintain proper social distancing, wear a mask, wash your hands, and be careful of your indoor gatherings. That's really important, especially now going through the holidays. One of the things that we have been seeing, especially in the last week, where people are getting it from family contacts, which means that they are not properly quarantining someone who tests positive. It's very important that you properly quarantine, you take safety precautions so that that person that is has it is properly quarantined so they don't give it to somebody else in the family. You have to be very careful. As I indicated in my statement last Friday, there are two very bright spots in this pandemic. The first is how the school has been handling the crisis. You know, Dr. Walling, Mrs. Richard, Mrs. Jenks, and all the Board of Education, the staff, the teachers, you know, have continued to make the options for in-person and remote learning available to our students at Beechwood and Deerfield. Their primary focus is to make sure that our kids are safe, and they're doing an excellent job. Also, our senior meals program delivered its 10,000th meal this week, which is fabulous for our seniors, and also it's fabulous for the support of the local businesses. So we're going to continue with that. I want to thank all of our volunteers. I know our seniors are very appreciative of the work that's being done in the senior meals program. Other than that, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, a Happy New Year, but let's make it a safe one, okay? Let's get rid of 2021, look for 2020, and let's look forward to 2021. Okay. At this point, we're going to open it up for any audience participation.
We are still on a 19-second delay. However, there haven't been any new comments.
Okay, so at this point, we're not going to have any exec tonight, so we need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Okay, we have a second.
Second.
Okay, the meeting adjourned. Thanks, everyone. Have a Merry
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.